Hey guys, happy couple here. In today's video, we're going over how do you deal with relationship insecurities. It's a tough one. We all kind of got them. Even the tough guys who pretend like they have no insecurity.
Don't forget to subscribe. It's the awesome red button and
hit the little bell.
Ding ding. The first thing to avoid or deal with relationship insecurity is to actually pick your partner based on their personality and how they make you feel. Don't chase someone because someone else said that they were cool or they're, socially in with the right cliques or whatever. Like, you need to pick someone that actually makes you feel good and that you make feel good so that this is someone hey, I trust him, he trusts me, we feel good together, we make each other happy, and you're not starting off on the wrong foot.
We did that.
Yeah.
Like 14 and whatever years ago.
Yeah.
There were some individuals who were saying somebody else.
It's true.
She wasn't interested in somebody else.
And they were like, this guy's so super cool, and I was like, I don't like him though. I like this guy because he's a really awesome dude. Yeah. And he makes me feel good. Yeah. So cute!
Having agreements in place is super important, and you can overlook agreements really easily. Like, one thing that we found is that if there were little things that would kind of like irk you, like kind of annoy you a little bit or bother you, or like, why is that happening? We realized a lot of times in those scenarios, we were missing an agreement about who does what in certain scenarios.
Or how you handle certain things that come up. And if those agreements are in place, then you know how you're gonna handle those things.
Yeah, it helps chill out the insecurity side because you know how we're gonna be dealing in those situations.
Anything that might leave you wondering, like, he's going out with some people and I don't know what they're gonna do. Well, maybe have an agreement in place. Hey, if you're going out, let me know where you're going. Simple things where you then have an idea and you're not then wondering and imagining it to be something bad when it probably isn't.
You'll see more about wondering a little later in this video.
Encouraging honesty and open communication from the beginning of a relationship is really, really important. If you wait until things get a little shaky, a little rocky, you're in the middle of an upset, and now you're like, we need to have open communication. You need to be honest. You're too late at that point. Start this from the beginning.
And you can still handle it. If it does come up and you haven't done that, totally fine. You can make that work. It is something you have to put in place. But if you have the opportunity, don't wait. Put it in earlier.
Yeah, like if you're starting a new relationship, and you're watching this video,
yes.
Start with this in place, because then as you build, you already know you have the trust there. You already know you have the communication, and any little things that come up get handled as they come up, and it doesn't build and build and build into some big explosive, crazy, dishonest, oh my goodness, I'm so insecure. What are they doing? I don't know. I can't trust them. Bad.
Bad. So understand that there will be things to work through, which is totally okay. That doesn't mean relationships are hard and they're tough and they have to be awful and oh my gosh. We don't believe that. We believe you can have an awesome relationship and you work together as a team. Although there are still times where you're going to work through something, keep in mind having agreements in place and having honesty established and all those things make it a lot easier to work through those things.
Those things are gonna be less frequent and smaller and easier to work through. When you do work through them, your relationship's gonna get better. Don't judge your current relationship through a screen of what a past relationship was.
Right.
Let's say someone cheated on you in the past. Don't come into a new relationship assuming that this person is gonna cheat on you. If you had communication difficulties with the past one, don't treat the new person assuming that they're doing the same thing if they're not. Treat this relationship as new, fresh. You have a clean slate. A new relationship, you have a clean slate, come into it. If you're already in a relationship, okay, cool. It's maybe not a clean slate, you're already in it, but still, like, don't compare what this is to something else if it's not the same thing.
And also keep in mind that over time in a relationship, people do change. That doesn't mean they always change, but they do change and they can change. And so let's say you had a rough scenario before, or a rough something that happened, a long time ago, and then now you're experiencing a similar sort of situation. It doesn't have to be rough again. If, let's say, you guys have decided, hey, you know what, we're gonna work through that if it comes up again, you don't need to treat it like it's gonna be something that it's not. So also, even if you're in the relationship, judge it now based on now, not based on earlier in the same relationship even.
Yeah, totally.
You don't have to accomplish the A to Z of a relationship from day one. You can just let it grow, let it continue to evolve, let it grow.
Oh, I like it. Let it grow.
Yeah, see? Look at that. You can actually let this thing evolve over time. Realize you don't need to accomplish every objective you could ever have for the relationship right away. Evolve over time, expand over time, continue to create over time. Relationships like wine, gets better with age.
I like it. And you're the ones creating it. So as it grows, like you're making it grow. But you don't have to like smother it and jump all over it and just, let it grow. People. If you have a question, ask. If you have a concern, bring it up. Don't go snooping to try to sort it out. If you're at the point where you feel the need to snoop, you actually don't have trust in that relationship and you have missed other points. Snooping is not gonna solve a problem. If you have a question, if you have a concern, if something's worrying you, ask. That's what the communication's for, and see where that goes. Maybe asking gets an answer that you don't want to hear, but then maybe it gets an answer that totally clarifies it, and you're like, wow, that is not what I thought it was, and this is great. Whatever it is, you have to have that open communication. Allowing the other person to answer your questions is part of that.
That was something that we had to deal with in our relationship, more towards the beginning. And it took a little bit of time where we were like, oh, okay, good, because we'd both experienced people who weren't super upfront sometimes, You get through that and you realize like, oh, okay, if I'm concerned about something, just ask. And then it's not even an issue, right? Like insecurities go out the window when you can just do that and you just say, hey, is this a situation? Is this a thing? What's actually going on? What happened? And then the person's like, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, wow, okay, great. This is awesome. And
Cool.
Now you're good. And it's okay to ask if you're concerned, right? Like your feeling of what's happening in the relationship, unless your attention is just totally stuck in a completely different relationship, which can happen from time to time. But if you're actually observing something happening now, you can ask and stay on it until you're totally satisfied. Don't let somebody play games with your mind, play games with what you're actually seeing or not seeing and going like, whoa, why are you so insecure all the time? Like if somebody's going down that approach, they're not understanding you. Either they are doing something wrong,
Sure.
or they're not just being understanding about the fact that you are concerned and just put the concerns to rest.
Right.
But telling a person, wow, you're just so insecure all the time, and then going out partying and putting weird photos up on Facebook, and then you're like, what? That would not be the way to build trust and then handle insecurity with your partner.
Realize in a relationship and in life in general, no one is responsible for your happiness and your own personal well-being but you. In a relationship, you're gonna be working together to uplift each other and of course make each other happier. But ultimately, you being happy and you being fulfilled in your life comes down to you, and vice versa. So you can absolutely work to make each other happy and should. That is definitely a key part of a relationship, but you also have to do what makes you happy and live the life that you want to live and go after your dreams and work on yourself and do things that make you happy.
And along that line, relationships are really supposed to make you feel good, make you happy, and contribute to bettering life. So if it's not, you need to fix something in it. And if you're deep in the relationship, you're married and been around together for a long time, you can fix that a lot of the time.
Yeah.
If it's not, say you're in a new relationship and it's not fixing, you're dating somebody and it's like, wow, this is just weird from the get-go. And I'm a big believer that I think you can fix the vast majority of things unless you just totally miss the boat on something. I think the vast majority of things you can totally fix. If it's not fixing and it's not fixing and not fixing, might be time to reevaluate the fit, but I will tell you, if If you're seeing things that are really odd, that's not you being insecure, it's you being observant and things being odd. Just
knowledge
saying.
right here.
Boom! Drop the mic. There you go.
If you guys think that this video will help someone, if it helped you and you think it could help someone, do share it, because that gets the word out. And we want to reach as many people with a positive message as we possibly can. So give it a thumbs up, share it far and wide. We'll see you in the next one.